Hi, I'm Dr. Janice Lusk, and I would like to welcome you to Intro to Sociology. I'll be your instructor this semester, and this is just a short video to introduce you to the course. So while I've recorded a much longer bio and writing on Canvas, I just like to quickly introduce myself. So again, I'm a sociologist. I'm an applied sociologist, and I went to Baylor University in Waco, Texas for both my master's degree and PhD in sociology. I have taught in the United States and in Japan and also the United Arab Emirates, and just returned to the United States about half a year ago. Being reintroduced to teaching in the US and being reintroduced to teaching community college students. I have a large family. I have 4 kids. My husband and I stay pretty busy with them. And in my free time, I really enjoy reading and gaming, mostly cozy gaming. Um, and I'm really looking forward this semester to trying to learn Japanese again. I have a really weak background from my time living in Japan, and I want to brush up on my skills before going on to learn Spanish. And so I want to work with something I'm confident in, at least a little, before going into something that I think is going to be much more difficult for me. Um, what else? So I have office hours, and those are posted here on the slide. And you can access those office hours using Calendly. I also prefer that students contact me using my actual email address that again is on this slide or in the syllabus. All of this information is in the syllabus as well, rather than using the Canvas inbox. I will use the Canvas inbox to communicate with you, and you can reply to those communications there. But if you're initiating a conversation with me, please use my email address. Everything gets lost on that Canvas inbox because of the number of messages I get. And they're not sorted by class. They all go into the same space. So please, don't use the Canvas inbox to reach out to me. I strive to communicate with you within 28 hours on weekdays. On the weekends, that's very different. On holidays, again, that's different. I might get back to you on those, time off periods, or I might not until the next business day. And when it comes to grading, with the exception of any discussion posts, if you have those assigned for this course, I typically will try to get your grades back to you within 72 hours. Discussion posts take a bit longer because they are done over a 2-week period. And so I won't start grading the discussion posts until there's a reply. If you don't have discussion posts assigned to you, don't worry. This doesn't pertain to you. So yeah. So anyway, welcome. All right, so I briefly want to go over the division of the units for this course. So across several chapters, we're going to be talking about 3 broad themes. First, we start with sociological perspectives, and that's where we're talking about theories and looking at research in sociology. It's really the fundamentals. Then we get into the applications of these perspectives. And so this is going to be a lot of focus on some kind of scaffolded next level higher thinking areas, um, like looking at socialization and culture and behavior, and in particular, looking at what behavior we consider to be normal and what we consider to be deviant. And then we go into inequalities, and that's where we look at things like class and stratification, global inequality, poverty. We look at race and ethnic relations and inequality and stratification in that area, and gender stratification. And we kind of have one kind of mini subunit there in the inequalities where we start looking at some of the social institutions, but again, we're focusing on inequalities in those social institutions. And so we're going to be looking at um, the family as a social institution, education and religion, and social movements. And so basically social movements will be kind of like our hopeful end in how do we deal with these inequalities. The whole theme of the entire course is taking things that are familiar to us, right? As we are social beings, we live in society, and so we're not strangers to society. But we're going to be looking at them, um, those familiarities, as if though they are strange. We're going to take a step back and kind of critically analyze our society and apply what's called the sociological imagination. And so by the end, you should be able to apply sociological theories, use critical analysis with that sociological perspective and sociological imagination, and to be able to evaluate policies globally and within the United States, and their injustices and inequalities. So we got some big tasks, but it'll be fun. And then finally, I want to end with some tips for success in my courses. Regardless of whether you're taking the course online or face-to-face, it doesn't matter. You need to come to class or come to the time that you set aside for this class prepared. So you're not coming as if though you're going to sit down with a bowl of popcorn and watch TV. You're coming with a notebook. You're coming with, your thinking cap on. You're going to be attentive. You're going to take notes. You're going to reflect. And so you need to make this course a habit. Imagine that you're sitting in class and we're having a one-on-one, right? And then try as much as you can to kind of fool yourself into becoming a sociology nerd, regardless of what your actual major is. Another tip that I give is to focus on the future and not the past. Instead of ruminating on the missed opportunities that have passed, I prefer that you focus on improvement in the future and enhancing your performance in the future, right? Focus on moving forward, on getting caught up with readings and making sure that you understand things going forward, instead of focusing on how you can get more points on a previous assignment or make something up in the past. My policies when it comes to deadlines are reasonable, but they're firm. I do allow for a late period of about 24 hours, and then that's it. I really think, especially if you're in an online offering of this course, that you have to be a certain type of student to be able to succeed. And that means that you need to be someone who is very self-motivated and who is intentional about managing their time and getting things done. And then finally, plan ahead. And that really, is connected to the previous tip as well. Note all of the assignments for this course, put them on a calendar somewhere, record them on your Google Calendar or whatever you're using digitally, put alerts on those for a day or two in advance. And do that not just for this course, but for all of your courses. And note when you know that, this is going to be a busy period because it's my kid's birthday or because I'm going on vacation or something like that. That's not an excuse on my end for why you might be late or something like that. But if you know in advance, then you can plan in advance and make sure that you have figured this into when you should actually submit something rather than the due date. If you know you're going to be on vacation on that due date, make sure you submit it before you leave, right? So plan ahead and make sure that you are taking care of you. So again, number one tip altogether, get into the course, engage with it. Regardless of why you're taking it, don't think of it just as a requirement or just as an elective. That's a recipe for disaster. So read, take notes, be present, whether in mind and or body. And yeah, you'll do a great job. So again, welcome to Introduction to Sociology. Glad to have you. See you soon.